Alright, so what do you mean by the word monitor and what do you mean by the word control? Monitor is observing, controlling is taking action. So monitor and control project work is the process of tracking. You first need to track, right, what is happening on your project, reviewing and reporting the overall progress to meet the performance objective defined in the project management plan. Very simple. Whatever is written in the project management plan is something that needs to be delivered. Now, whether it is delivered or no is what you need to do under monitoring and controlling. This process is performed throughout the project. It doesn't happen that you will do it only at the end of the project. You will do this process throughout the project. So let's see what are the inputs and outputs and what are the tools and techniques that we are going to use. So we've n number of times discussed on what are the inputs and outputs. Input and outputs are nothing but documents. Yeah. So the first document that you need to monitor and control your project is what? Of course, the project management plan. Everything as to how is mentioned in the project management plan. How the project will be executed, how you need to monitor it and how you need to control it. All these part is a part of project management plan. So monitoring and controlling project work involves looking at all the aspects of the project. Any component of the project management plan may be an input of this process. Any of the document which is a part of project management plan. So what all are the documents which are included in the project management plan? All the subsidiary management plan, all the baselines and some other components including the change configuration management and all that stuff. Change management system, configuration management system and etc. Then you also need your project document. Lot of components of the project document including the assumption logs, the basis of estimate, the milestone list, the quality reports, the schedule forecast. All these are a part of the project document. Now you need all these documents, you refer all these documents to work on monitoring and controlling your project work. Then you need the work performance information. Now what is the work performance information? There is some work performance data that is collected through the work execution section and it is passed on to the controlling processes. So when the data is extracted from the execution and passed on to the monitoring and controlling process group, it is known as work performance information. You need to know, right, what is the work that is performed and you need to monitor on that. To become work performance information, the work performance data are compared with the project management plan components. So there are three components that you will keep on hearing: work performance information, work performance data and work performance report. So work performance data is a raw observation that you get from an execution section. We saw in the previous session which comes from the direct and managed project work. Then there is work performance information. This is nothing but a comparison between the observation and the project management plan. This comparison indicates how the project is performing. Then you also need agreement. There will be some third-party involvements. You want to know that how are the work which is aligned with the third party is working. So a procurement agreement includes the terms and conditions and may incorporate other items that the buyer specifies regarding what the seller is to perform or provide. So all these are a part of the agreement and hence you need the agreement. Then you also need EEFs because even at the time of monitoring you would want to know that what are the factors that are impacting your project. EEFs originate from the environment outside of the project and often outside of the enterprise. These factors refer to conditions which are not under the control of the project team that influence, constrain or direct the project. Yeah. Then you also need your OOPAs, all the formats, all the procedures, all the planning, all the processes. Everything is a part of your organizational process assets. And these are internal to your enterprise and hence you will need all these at the time of monitoring and controlling your project work as well. So these are the input documents. So these are all the documents that you've kept ready. for monitoring and controlling your project work. Now let's see what are the tools and techniques that can be used. Now the first one is expert. We know experts get job everywhere. So expert judgment. Expert can be an individual, it can even be a group from a specialized knowledge or training. So you may also do some data analysis techniques. Some of the data analysis techniques that can be a part of monitor and control project work are alternative analysis. What do you mean by alternative analysis? Alternative analysis is used to select the corrective action or a combination of corrective and preventive actions to implement when a deviation occurs. In case if a deviation has occurred in your project in terms of your scope, your cost, your schedule, anything, an alternative analysis as a technique can help you create a scenario where a corrective action can be taken or a combination of corrective or preventive action can be taken. The cost benefit analysis. The cost benefit analysis helps to determine the best corrective action in terms of cost. The focus here is main on the cost in case of the project deviation. In case if there is any deviation in your cost, this is going to be the cost benefit analysis is going to be the best one to determine the corrective action. Then comes the earned value analysis. So we are going to talk about earned value in quite detail when we are going to do cost and time, because there are a lot of formulas there which is going to be very important for you from your examination perspective. You have to keep all that in mind. So earned value provides an integrated perspective. It provides a combination of perspective in terms of your schedule, scope and cost. So earned value analysis defines that only by understanding that the schedule is behind or the cost is over, you cannot determine that the project is on path or no. All the key three factors, which is scope, schedule and cost. When you take all these three factors into consideration, only then you will understand what is the status of your project, and hence earned value analysis. Then root cause analysis. Root cause analysis focuses on identifying the main reason of the problem. Root cause analysis is a technology which is used for identifying what is the real problem of for the deviation in the project. Trend analysis. Trend analysis is used to forecast. It typically helps you tell that till now if the trend has been such, what will be the trend be in future. So that is what is known as trend analysis. Variance analysis. Variance analysis reviews the differences as to what is the difference between what was planned and what is actual, and what is going to be the future realistic output for it. It can be a possibility that something has been planned for, that some work will be completed in a week's time, but from last 6 months that work does not get completed in 1 week. It takes around 10 days. So that is what is known as variance analysis, to identify what is the difference between the planned and actual performance. Then comes decision making techniques. What do you mean by decision making? It is about taking a decision whether this needs to be continued or no, or some change is required or no. All this happens at the time of monitoring and controlling. Understand the project has initiated, planning is completed, execution is going on, and at the time of execution you are trying to monitor and control your project. There are n number of decision making techniques. One of them is voting. Voting can also include making decision based off unambiguous and majority or plurality. So it all depends upon what the output of the voting would be. Meetings. Meetings may be face-to-face, virtual, formal or informal. They may include project team members. Some stakeholders may also come, right? So these are all the techniques which are used for monitoring and controlling your project work. Now, once you monitor and control your project work, you know that there is a deviation. You try to find out what is the earned value. You try to find out what is the trend. The output is the third element that I was talking about, is the work performance report. Now, work performance information is combined, recorded and distributed in a physical or an electronic format. Now this data is often recorded, combined and recorded for future purpose. This is also creates awareness. It helps in generating decisions or actions. They are circulated to all the project stakeholders. Very important, because the stakeholders should know where is the project going on and what is the status on the project. They can be presented as dashboards, heat reports, stoplight charts. So these are a number of reports which are available. Any representation data is known as work performance report. You may get a question around work performance information, work performance data, and work performance report. You need to make it very clear that you understand what the concepts are. Work performance data is the raw output data that you get from direct and managed project execution. Work performance information is the comparison of that raw data with what actually was planned. And work performance report is an output of monitor and control project work that determines if any change is required, and it is presented in the format of a heat report or a stoplight chart or a dashboard to all the stakeholders. Yeah. Then there can be change request coming up here. Now this is for the first time that a change request is coming. Now till now you are executing the project. When you are monitoring and controlling, you either need to take a corrective action or a preventive action, or you need to change in the scope of the project. Now that is what is known as change request. As a result of comparing planned result to actual result, change request may be issued to expand, adjust, or reduce the project scope or quality and quality requirements, can schedule or cost baseline. So it all depends upon whatever the change request has come. Now, will this change request directly go to direct and managed project work and the work will be executed? No. These change requests will go to perform integrated change control, PICC. Only after that the work will begin. Changes may include corrective action, preventive action, or defect repair. A corrective action, an intentional activity that realigns the performance of the project work with the project management plan. Understand, it is intentional activity, it is done purposely. Preventive action, an intentional activity that ensures the future performance of the project work is aligned with the project management plan. That whatever will happen in the future will be aligned with the project management plan. And defect repair, that you agree that there was a problem in the project management plan and you want to repair it. So an alignment act, an intentional activity that modifies a non-confronting product or product component. So that is what is known as defect repair. Then let's see what are the outputs of monitor and control project work. The project management plan may get updated. There are certain documents that will impact the project management plan. Changes identified during the monitor and control project work process may affect the overall project management plan. Project document updates can happen. The cost may change, cost forecast may change, issue log may get updated, the lessons learned will be registered. So there are a number of the risk register, schedule forecast. These are all the documents that may get updated.